Hello, I'm Matujami and you're watching Hornbill TV's Prime at 9. Now, headlines. 13 key post holders of the Naga People's Front (NPF) and noted political worker Hopinson A. Shimre of 43 Pungyar Assembly constituency have officially joined the Bharatiya Janata Party on October 16. An earthquake of magnitude 3.7 on the Richter scale hit Churachandpur in Manipur on Saturday morning. The National Center for Seismology said the quake occurred at 7:16 a.m. Reports have been received on October 16 that a 6-year-old minor was raped by a person employed in the Nagaland police in Mon district. Now for the news in details. Reports have been received on October 16 that a 6-year-old minor has been raped by a person employed in the Nagaland police in Mon district. Updates on Saturday stated that the child is from Dizit, while the accused person, who is yet to be identified at the time of this news report being filed, is reportedly employed as a cook in the Nagaland police. Available but unconfirmed information said that the accused has been lodged in the Mon jail. Earlier we spoke to Ado Yalam, who is the additional SP Mon, to get more details. Let's have a look at the report. Findings suggest regarding this case, sir.
Okay, that incident happened on 14 around night, and that FIR was filed on 15 by in Dizit police station by KNSK, which is a women group, and Konyak Union, Dizit area, and TASUD, which is a student body in Dizit area student union. Yes. Likewise, that minor girl that was a victim, as we have said earlier during the introduction, as per that case, Dizit police station has entered 0 FIR was forwarded to women police cell in Mon. Accordingly, case registered in women police Mon as case number 008/21 under section 376 AB, that is Alpha Bravo, IPC, right with 6 POSCO Act. And the accused, as of now, is arrested and is in judicial custody.
Okay, so sir, as mentioned earlier, it is said that the accused is from the Nagaland police, as a cook in the Nagaland police. So is it confirmed, sir?
Yeah, that's confirmed. That's
okay,
confirmed.
Sir. So also, could you please tell us about the condition of the child, sir, and also what is being done for rehabilitation and things like that, sir?
The victim, she has been taken to hospital in a nearby area in Assam, as per my sources, as per my information, and she is back at home now. And our women cell OC, she is there to guide and help her. As of now, they are presently there in Tizit. They will be coming back to Mon.
Okay, sir. So also, could you please tell us what are the enforcement activities so far?
As I've said earlier, it's under all the relevant sections of IPC and in 6 relevant acts and under IPC and BOSCO Act. So, as the accused is under judicial custody, further investigation will reveal what steps to take more in.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir, thank you so much for your information, sir.
Right. Thank you.
13 key post holders of the Naga People's Front (NPF) and noted political worker Hopinson A. Shimre of 43 Pungyar Assembly constituency have officially joined the Bharatiya Janata Party on October 16. A rousing felicitation function of the political leader and the NPF's key functionaries was organized on October 16 at Tampal Shanglen, the newly inaugurated office of the state PJP at Keshampat Nitayapat, Chuthek, with Chief Minister N. Biren Singh and other leaders of the PJP. Welcoming the newly enrolled members of the PJP, Chief Minister Biren Singh highlighted the changes that have been brought to the Pungyar Assembly constituency in the past 4.5 years. He said that with the coming of the BJP-led government in the state, many developments in the area of medical facilities and road infrastructure, among others, have been taken up in the Pungyar Assembly constituency. The Pungyar Assembly constituency of Kamjong district is the first in Manipur where every household gets tap water, Biren Singh said. He said that in Ukhrul district, 2 oxygen plants have been installed.
Area leaders, 43 Pungyar constituencies functionaries will be about Moy Trani Twile, Moy Tunam, Mama is the election below, and Matang away. Madam, I know Laga, Karipos, Pyramara, introduced Auriga.
An earthquake of magnitude 3.7 on the Richter scale hit Churachandpur in Manipur on Saturday morning. The National Center for Seismology said the quake occurred at 7:16 a.m. Earthquake of magnitude 3.7 occurred on 16 October. Latitude 24.27 and longitude 93.75 at a depth of 39 kilometers at the location Churachandpur, Manipur. The NCS tweeted on Friday an earthquake of 4.2 on the Richter scale had struck Lachung in Sikkim. Petrol and diesel prices continue to rise across the country for the third consecutive day on October 16. In Delhi, petrol and diesel prices were raised by rupees 0.35 to rupees 105.49 per litre and rupees 94.22 per litre respectively. For the third consecutive day, the rates of petrol and diesel were increased by rupees 0.35 in the national capital. In Mumbai, petrol prices increased by rupees 0.34 to rupees 111.40, while the cost of diesel increased by rupees 0.37 to rupees 102.15. Manipur Chief Minister N. Biren Singh has launched on October 16 a government initiative called the Star Education Manipur at a solemn function organized by the Department of Education at the Classical Grand in Imphal. Star Education Manipur is a flagship program of the government of Manipur to transform the education system of the state through excellence in teaching and learning in classrooms, driving radical learning gains.
On the occasion, Biren Singh said that the motto of the current education system had now changed from the earlier narrow vision of getting a government job to a broader one of creating jobs and serving the nation. The new initiative will assist teachers in better ways of teaching to students. He maintained that the state government, since its formation, had been doing things differently to serve its people in a better way. The government had earlier also launched the school Phagatansi mission with an ambitious objective to give renewed trust towards the improvement of government schools, both in terms of physical and manpower infrastructure, he added. Mentioning that the state's government had also taken up welfare schemes in many sectors, the Chief Minister stated that many youths of Manipur had now performed better comparing to other states in different fields. He added that such achievements had been made possible with the zeal of the people to do something new and for the prevalence of a better environment. He maintained that the government had always encouraged achievements of all individuals and that it would be ready to support those who are hardworking. Delivering his presidential speech, Education Minister Sorokhaibam Rajan Singh stated that the education system in the state had considerably improved after the successful implementation of the school Phagatansi mission of the government to facilitate teachers in taking online classes effectively for higher education. Recording studios had been set up in different colleges, he added. The minister also appreciated the Chief Minister for his far-sighted vision and initiatives for developing the education infrastructure of the state. Star Education Manipur will deploy an innovative technology and data-driven platform coupled with high-quality learning materials, effective training and ongoing coaching for teachers and school leaders and technology-enabled support teams.
India's permanent representative of the United Nations UNTS Tirumurti on Friday announced that India has introduced a draft resolution in United Nations General Assembly for granting observer status to international solar alliances. Taking to Twitter, Ambassador Tirumurti termed this move as another milestone for the International Solar Alliance. Another milestone for International Solar Alliance, Tirumurti tweeted. India introduced its draft resolution in the UNGA for granting observer status to International Solar Alliance and that the ISA, through its efforts towards just and equitable energy solution, will usher in new era of green energy diplomacy, Tirumurti tweeted. The International Solar Alliance was launched jointly by Prime Minister Narendra Modi during COP21 in Paris. It aims to contribute to the implementation of the Paris Climate Agreement through rapid and massive deployment of solar energy, according to the Ministry of External Affairs. Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida told the Yomiuri Shimbun newspaper that the national security strategy should include the possibility to enemy bases for self-defense purposes. According to the Japanese Prime Minister, this initiative is linked to the growing military capabilities of North Korea that carry out missile tests. The capabilities of North Korean missiles are being constantly boosted. To protect people's lives, it is necessary to take a position that allows considering various options given the developments, Kishida said. He added that the national security strategy should be revised as soon as possible. The idea to include the possibility to attack enemy bases for self-defense purposes into the national security strategy was voiced by former Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe, but his successor Yoshihide Suga delayed the decision on the issue. India will have a vaccine capacity of 28 crore doses this month, which includes 22 crore Serum Institute of India's Covishield and 6 crore doses of Bharat Biotech Covaxin, and production of a 60 lakh ZDS Cadila Zycov-D doses are also ready, said government sources.
Will have a capacity of more than 30 crores by next year per month, which includes Covishield, Covaxin, Zycov-D and biological E, sources told ANI. According to the sources, the production of 60 lakh doses of Zydus Cadilla's Zycov-D are already ready with the company, and biological E will be submitting the data till November end of phase 3 trials. The biological E is the third Indian company to make COVID-19 vaccines. The company has also started stockpile doses. Biological E will be providing 30 crore doses, and another company that is expected to provide doses in Genova, which is the fourth Indian company doing trials of mRNA vaccines. India is expected to get Genova's mRNA vaccine doses by February. Earlier on September 2nd, Niti Aayog member held V.K. Paul had said that the Hyderabad-based pharmaceutical company Biological E is expected to launch its vaccine against coronavirus in October this year. Paul had told ANI that phase 3 of Biological E's trial is underway. India procured more than 26 crore doses in the month of September also. Centre plans to achieve 100 crore doses in next week. Earlier, it was expected to reach the target between October 10 to October 12. The delay and decline in COVID vaccination are due to the festival season and hesitation in the second dose. India may accelerate the export of COVID-19 vaccines under its humanitarian initiative, Vaccine Maitri, by December, after having an excess number of doses in the country.
Amid tensions over build-up by the Chinese across the line of actual control in eastern Ladakh and reluctance to resolve remaining issues between the two countries, Indian Air Force Air Chief Marshal V.R. Chaudhary is visiting forward areas in Ladakh to review the operational preparedness of troops deployed there. The IAF chief had himself flown sorties in the MiG-29 fighter jets over the eastern Ladakh sector when he was the Western Air Command Chief. He was the Western Air Command Chief for a major part of the ongoing standoff with the People's Liberation Army going on since April-May timeframe last year. The Air Force Chief arrived at the Leh Air Base on Saturday morning and would be meeting with the Indian Air Force personnel and special forces deployed in the forward areas near the line of actual control, government sources told. Union Home Minister Amit Shah inaugurates and lays the foundation stone of various development projects of Andaman and Nicobar Island from the Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose Island, Union Territory. Lieutenant Governor Admiral D.K. Joshi is also present at the occasion. Speaking on the occasion at Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose Island, Union Home Minister Amit Shah stated that the nation celebrates Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav and 125th birth anniversary of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. Retrospecting the life of Netaji, Shah said that injustice happened to Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose and the place which he deserves was not given to him in history. The Union Home Minister said that for years efforts were made to diminish the image of many leaders, but now it's the time to give them proper place in history. People who have sacrificed their lives should get a place in the history. With that in mind, the island and the Andaman and Nicobar Island had been renamed after Netaji Bose. And he urged upon the youths to visit Andaman and Nicobar Island, which is a pilgrimage place of independence.
आज यहाँ पर 14 परियोजनाओं का उद्घाटन हुआ है। उसका कुल मूल्य 299 करोड़ है और 12 परियोजनाओं का शिलान्यास हुआ है। उसका मूल्य 643 करोड़ है। अंडमान द्वीप के छोटे से क्षेत्र के अंदर 943 करोड़, लगभग 1000 करोड़ के विकास के काम का आज मोदी सरकार शुरुआत कर रही है। और ये जो आज एक ब्रिज का लोकार्पण हुआ, वो ब्रिज को भी हमने आजाद हिंद फौज ब्रिज नाम देने का निर्णय किया है मोदी जी ने। यहाँ पर हृदय रोग के सारे दर्दियों के लिए किया है, एक नई सुविधा करी है। एंजियोप्लास्टी भी यहाँ पर हो पाएगी, पेसमेकर भी रखा जा सकेगा। इसके साथ साथ यहाँ पर आयुष का अस्पताल भी बना है और 49 वेलनेस सेंटर कम हेल्थ सेंटर बना है। 49 वेलनेस सेंटर, गन और प्रवाही कचरे के निकाल के लिए भी ढेर सारी व्यवस्था की है। यहाँ पर कई प्रकार के प्रशासन में दक्षता लाने के लिए, इसके मॉनिटरिंग के लिए विद्युत के क्षेत्र में और प्रशासन इन जनरल सामान्य प्रशासन के अंदर भी अच्छे मॉनिटरिंग सेंटर बनाने का काम भी हुआ है और ढेर सारी परियोजनाएं मिली हैं।
Attempting to silence critics ahead of the crucial 2022 Assembly polls, interim President of Congress Sonia Gandhi on Saturday said she is the full-time and hands-on party chief during her address at the Congress Working Committee meeting in New Delhi. In her opening remark at the CWC meeting chaired by her, the interim Congress president said she had been wanting for the meeting ever since Parliament adjourned. Addressing the issue of organizational elections, Gandhi said that the entire organization wants a revival of the Congress, but this requires unity and keeping the party's interests paramount, and above all, it requires self-control and discipline. She said she is acutely conscious of the fact that she has been interim Congress president ever since the CWC asked her to return in this capacity in 2019, she said, recalling that CWC has finalized a roadmap for electing a regular president by June 30. Gandhi said, but the second wave of COVID-19 overtook the country and this deadline was extended indefinitely by the CWC in its meeting held on May 10, 2021. Gandhi said the schedule for full-fledged organizational elections have been finalized and will bring clarity on the matter once and for all. She is a full-time and hands-on Congress president, and in the past 2 years, a large number of her colleagues, particularly the younger ones, have taken on leadership roles in taking party policies and programs to the people, whether it be the agitation of farmers, provision of relief during the pandemic, highlighting issues of concern to youth and women, atrocities on Dalits, Adivasis and minorities, price rise, and the destruction of public sector, she said. Four Central Reserve Police Force personnel sustained injuries in a minor blast that occurred while shifting a detonator at Raipur railway station this morning. According to CRPF sources, the incident occurred at 6:30 a.m. today at Raipur railway station when personnel at 122 Battalion of CRPF were about to board a train to Jammu. The initial report suggests that the blast occurred when a box containing an igniter set fell on the floor of the special train that was about to depart. A senior officer informed that the injured personnel were rushed to a local hospital for treatment. The officer said Head Constable Vikas Chauhan had suffered serious injuries and he was holding the box when it accidentally fell on the floor. The other 3 personnel sustained minor injuries and were discharged from the hospital after the first aid. And now they have boarded the train. He further added that senior officer of CRPF and local police have reached the railway station. A probe has been launched into the incident. Days after the encounter with terrorists in which army personnel were killed, a search operation by security personnel continued in the Bat Dirain area, which is adjacent to the Deraki Gali forest rich in Rajouri Poonch district in Jammu and Kashmir. A counter-terrorist operation by the army was launched in the area of Nargas forest in Mandar, Poonch on the evening of October 14. During the operation, there was a heavy exchange of fire, and in the ensuing gunfight, 2 army personnel were critically injured and later succumbed to their injuries. The personnel were identified as Rifleman Vikram Singh Negi and Rifleman Yogambar Singh. Army troops along with Special Operation Group of Jammu and Kashmir Police on October 15 had launched a search operation in the dense forest. According to police, vehicular traffic had been suspended on the highway between Bimbar Gali and Surangkoti on Friday. That's all we have for now. Keep watching Hornbill TV.